Okay, so this is my Web 2 final project. So basically, my idea was inspired by like old text messages that my friends and I used to send each other in like elementary school. And it was just like a bunch of emojis and finding like a specific one. And basically, this project is just building off of my or like the game I already had. So for this project, I learned about event listeners and local storage. So the add event listener sets up a function that's called whenever a specific event happens. And in this code, it basically goes through all the answers. And then when you click on the right or wrong one, it'll update your score to whatever you got. And the local storage is used to store data to your computer. And in this code, we're like making a variable like called score, and then it's basically just going through like each time your score updates, it'll replace your old score with like a new score basically. So this is two examples of my code. So the first one is like of updating the time, and it's basically just going through like each second it subtracts one, so it's just 20, 19 all the way to 0. And if you reach zero like before you click an answer or something, it'll send you to like a game over screen where you have to restart. And then for the second code, it's basically how like the score works. And so it's just each time you click, it'll update your score, add it, like increasing it by 1. And so it's just this part is just kind of that. And then down here, okay, it starts at 0, obviously, and each time you click, it goes up by 1. And so this update score is basically just replacing your old score with like a new score each time it increases or decreases. So this is a quick demo. So you start off with like a welcome screen, and you follow the prompts and answer the question before the timer, there's a typo, runs out. Okay, so it starts off with like a few more like, I wouldn't say challenging, but a little more like rough questions that you can kind of cheat through. And then this is kind of like similar to what my friends would send each other. We find the odd one out. And each on these screens, there should be like, as you can see, score and time like presented on the screen. However, my screen right now is a little bit small. So I think it'd be better like on like a laptop or a computer. So now you had to click to continue, but if you run out of time, as you can see, it'll send you to you failed screen, and then you can just restart. So going back. Okay, so as we got 2 score now. So continuing, which characters from Shrek. And these are like kind of easy, but if you get one wrong, let's say I click Abe Lincoln instead, you'll fail and you just restart. And also just shows you your score when you fail. And then once you reach the end after these few questions, you get a congratulations screen, and it should present your score, and then you can just replay if you want to. So now going to the code, we have like each page is separated, and this is just the beginning code, like welcome, stuff like that. And for each one, we have like all of its stuff, and then every single one has its own like it shows the score and like time presented on it. So we have all of those. And then we have like an overall JavaScript page, and it's all the variables, and then like what I showed before, the score, updating score, and the time and how it works. And then we have a like special page for the special JavaScript for the start. And here's the CSS Um, the main thing was just getting it so that the score and timer is visible on the screen and like staying in the same spot. And then I just try to make it like a little like kind of pleasing to look at. Before it was like an image in the background and it was a little bit messy with all like the words and stuff like that. So I just try to make it a little more simple. So back to the presentation. My favorite part about this project was like adding the score and the time, I guess, because it was like it just made it feel more like a game and it put a little more pressure on like on players to get it right. And I think it gives you more motivation, I guess. So if I was gonna continue to work on this project, I think I would add an ending page that basically displays the player's final score and maybe how long it took like as a whole to finish the game. Right now we have just like a congratulations page, but I think it would be like a little more special if at the end it was just like your score and something like ending, like ending scene, I guess. And then I would also add like more difficult questions because right now it's like just simple and also it's like I don't think it would take too long to answer those. And then the last thing is just adding like a little like maybe like a little character, not nothing to do with the game, but maybe just like on the side, just like making comments just for fun. Okay, so that's the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for listening.